like I say, you can't use Drake with me. You can't use fucking Lil Baby because they don't with me no more. So please don't use that. You haven't seen me around Drake in a minute. Or Lil Baby. A long time. So let's get that out the door. Please don't use that no more. Like, I'm not a leecher. Like, fuck with me for a reason. But like, I want to die. Like, I want to kill myself. I want to like leave this earth.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. The ongoing trial has unexpectedly reignited long-standing tensions in the hip-hop world. One of the biggest flare-ups centers on Meek Mill, who is now allegedly suggesting that Drake was operating behind the scenes, manipulating connections, and playing both ends of the industry to his advantage. The spotlight has turned toward an accusation involving an artist named YK, who was reportedly introduced to certain controversial circles under questionable circumstances. According to circulating narratives, Meek believes Drake orchestrated that connection. But to understand the depth of this fallout, you have to rewind the timeline. In 2012, Meek and Drake shared a collaborative space with mutual respect. Their chemistry was evident on the track Amen, a song that had the streets talking. Everything looked stable on the surface. But the landscape shifted in 2015 when a single song changed everything. Rico. That track lit the fuse. When Rico dropped, Meek wasn't pleased with how it all unfolded. Instead of addressing it quietly, he took to social media and fired off shots. Not about the music itself, but about something much deeper. He questioned whether Drake had written his own lyrics. In hip-hop, accusations like that don't just sting, they undermine reputations. Meek claimed that if he'd known the verse wasn't self-penned, it would have never made the cut.
Man, I sold my Lamborghini, I sold my Rolls Royce, I sold my Cadillacs. Yes, sir, ski. Yes, sir, ski. Ride that thing. Hey, I'm about to beat that charge. Man, what the fuck? I ain't gonna lie. This thing humble yourself. I ain't gonna cap to you. I got a floss for you, nigga. God, I ain't got a floss for you, nigga, man. If y'all gonna think what y'all want to think. If I do got it, don't got it. Y'all gonna think what y'all want to think. I love this Honda. I ain't riding no Lamborghini. I got a floss for you, nigga.
He even believed there was a subliminal diss tucked in, particularly a line he felt was too personal. The girl of your dreams is really not a challenge. That was the moment everything spiraled. Fans dissected every word, every lyric, and suddenly the story was no longer about a feature. It was about ghostwriting, credibility, and even romantic entanglements involving Nicki Minaj. Drake, never one to stay silent, hit back fast. He used his platform on OVO Radio to release Charged Up, a direct response to Meek's claims. Though Meek downplayed it publicly, calling the track weak, the exchange had only just begun. Drake came even harder with Back to Back, which took the industry by storm and even earned a Grammy nomination, an unprecedented moment for a diss record. That track changed the narrative. Meek responded with, "Wanna know?" doubling down on the ghostwriting accusations, but by then, the momentum had shifted. Drake had already reshaped the battlefield, and Meek was left defending his stance amid mounting public opinion. What began as a disagreement over a verse had now evolved into a full-scale industry conflict that continues to echo years later. The tension continued to build with more symbolism and subliminals. One of the boldest moments came in the form of cover art. Drake was portrayed as part of Milli Vanilli, a direct nod to the ghostwriting controversy. Adding to the impact, Meek sampled Quentin Miller's reference track during his own response, intensifying the message. Drake wasn't done either. He had another record in the chamber called Three-Peat, which he debuted live during OVO Fest, though the full track was never officially released. Still, the intent was clear. Drake was staying on the offensive and controlling the narrative through calculated performances. By 2018, tensions seemed to ease up. In a surprising gesture, Drake brought Meek Mill on stage during a Boston show. Together, they performed Dreams and Nightmares, sending what appeared to be a powerful message of reconciliation. Meek later freestyled over Back to Back, which many took as a peace offering. On the surface, it looked like the beef had been settled and both camps had moved on. But beneath that surface, there were still unresolved feelings and strategic distance. Enter the YK Osiris situation, which reignited all the previous tension. The spark? A trip in 2021 that raised more than a few questions. YK and a major music figure known for his private lifestyle were both in Jamaica at the same time. That alone might not have drawn suspicion, except for one key detail. YK had just gone public about his financial struggles. He wasn't hiding it either. YK openly told his followers that he was broke and had started liquidating assets, including high-end vehicles, in order to stay financially stable. For someone who was once flashing designer labels and expensive whips, it was a serious pivot. And then, like clockwork, photos and footage surfaced from Jamaica. Not much detail was available, but the optics created questions that no one was answering. The situation quickly fueled speculation. How did YK go from selling cars to vacationing overseas, seemingly overnight? And why was he there at the same time as an industry figure tied to so many ongoing controversies? The timelines lined up too cleanly, and that's what brought old conversations back into circulation.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
The same circles Meek had once called out were now being re-examined. The public started piecing things together, digging through interviews, tracking appearances, and matching up connections. The trip to Jamaica became more than just a vacation. It became a breadcrumb in a much larger trail. And for Meek Mill, that trail led right back to the heart of an issue that was never fully resolved. Naturally, many assumed YK Osiris was laying low, focusing on regrouping financially and cleaning up his situation. He had just gone public about selling off his cars, talking about being broke, and stepping away from the flashy lifestyle. So when photos suddenly surfaced of him relaxing in a luxury Jamaican villa, people were confused. It seemed like the money problems had magically disappeared. This is where things began to raise eyebrows. Social media activity started connecting dots that many couldn't ignore. YK posted an image of a well-known entertainment mogul, shirtless and poolside, accompanied by prayer hand emojis. Then came another post, this time captioned, "Listening to that music, eating that good fruit in the beautiful weather." It sounded like more than just a vacation. Shortly after, YK uploaded a photo of himself leaning over a lavish fruit platter, dressed down, giving off a vibe that made people start asking serious questions. The energy was suggestive, the imagery was pointed, and it didn't go unnoticed.
Yeah, because nobody would ever say that one.
Oh, yeah. So here goes Envy.
They said he was Diddy's boy toy.
Yeah, I was in Jamaica with him.
Oh, I see it now.
See?
I was in
YK
Jamaica with
Osiris
him.
in Jamaica with his alleged boo Diddy.
See?
Onlookers online quickly connected the dots. One user commented, "The moment I didn't see a single woman or hint of family, I knew a man had funded that trip." And based on the context, that observation didn't seem far-fetched. Then came a major twist. YK's own child's mother appeared to back up the theory, publicly stating, "Stop asking me what happened. I caught him with a man." That statement instantly added weight to the conversation and fueled even more speculation. Industry figures had also been watching closely. Observers noted how rising talent sometimes gets swept into circles where mentorship turns into something more complicated, where influence and access can become controlling. It was an old narrative, but now there was fresh context and fresh faces involved. All of this speculation reached a boiling point when YK stepped into the spotlight again, this time through a major platform, The Breakfast Club. What he said next would either silence the rumors or throw more gasoline on the fire.
I ain't gonna hold you no more. I ain't gonna hold you no more.
You owe me 60 bands, and you have to perform the song right now in the crib. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? I'm giving you an out. I'm not Baby. I'm not Boosie. You don't owe me no 2 rags, 5 rags. You owe me 60 bands. I'm playing the song right now. You ready? I need a full. You won't owe me no money right now. I swear. I need a full performance though. The real though. I'm serious.
You just got it.
When YK Osiris appeared on The Breakfast Club, Charlemagne didn't waste time. He went straight to the swirling rumors about YK's close ties with a powerful entertainment executive. Instead of a clear denial, YK fidgeted, smiling nervously, avoiding eye contact, and pulling at his hoodie. The body language said more than words ever could. People had already been whispering after seeing YK vacationing in Jamaica, and this interview didn't calm those suspicions. But that wasn't the only relationship under the microscope. Another music heavyweight, Drake, had also been connected to YK, and that connection raised even more eyebrows. YK had been seen frequently in Drake's orbit. Fans started piecing things together after a now infamous clip surfaced, Drake pressing YK to sing on camera after he lost a $60,000 bet. The exchange felt unbalanced, awkward even. Some felt YK was being put on the spot. When asked about it later, YK tried to keep things positive, calling Drake his brother, but the footage told a more complicated story. Then another video hit the internet, this time showing YK doing sit-ups on Drake's private jet, with Drake off-camera teasing, "You struggling with those push-ups?"
Who said he don't pay you?
Remember with Drake? Remember you had to sing for Drake?
Nah, but Drake my brother though. Like that's my boy. So it's like when we bet and gamble, like it's really ain't about no money. It's really about this fun. Like we bet $100,000 a shot, but we like it's like really like brother love. Like that's my boy.
Win?
The tone rubbed people the wrong way. One online commenter said, "Looks like they got him doing strange things for that plane ride." And it didn't stop there. Not long after, Drake posted a picture of YK's new haircut, which clearly mimicked the style from the Certified Lover Boy album cover. The caption read, "Burnt the F out, you really one of one YK Osiris." Some saw it as playful banter. Others saw it as another moment that blurred the line between friendship and exploitation. What really sent the conversation over the edge was YK getting the OVO owl tattooed on his leg.
You're struggling? You're struggling? With them push-ups.
At that point, even fans who had stayed quiet started speaking out. They questioned how close was too close and whether YK was being genuinely supported or simply used as part of a larger narrative he couldn't control. And then, almost without warning, YK Osiris was cut off by Drake's circle. It wasn't just a quiet fade-out. YK broke down publicly on Instagram Live. Crying, shaken, and clearly overwhelmed, he expressed thoughts of despair, saying he wanted to leave this world. The emotion wasn't performative. It was raw, heavy, and hard to watch. This wasn't about chasing attention or looking for sympathy. This was a young man spiraling in front of an audience that didn't know how to help. Shortly afterward, he shared that many artists who act like they're blessed were really dealing with deep spiritual conflict and private mental health battles.
Man, stop playing. Only I can do this. Me and the boy. Stop. Stop.
It was a powerful statement, and one that many overlooked. Multiple sources and independent reports began surfacing, suggesting that what happened to YK went beyond music deals and clout chasing. Allegedly, some powerful names in the industry had a reputation for luring in young artists through luxury, friendship, and false mentorship, only to emotionally and psychologically manipulate them behind closed doors. These relationships, the sources claim, often began with expensive gifts, exclusive access, and private travel, but quickly shifted into something much darker. One known spiritual intuitive, Sloan Bella, even spoke out, claiming that people close to a former high-profile partner had knowledge of these rituals long before her untimely passing. She suggested that young talent was being energetically drained for the benefit of elite figures at the top. When YK began to distance himself and speak up, his momentum in the industry collapsed. He wasn't being booked, he wasn't being mentioned, his name disappeared from major headlines. For Meek Mill, all of this struck a nerve. According to insiders, he didn't just fault the executives who orchestrated YK's rise and fall.
Like I say, you can't use Drake with me, you can't use fucking Lil Baby because they don't with me no more. So please don't use that. You haven't seen me around Drake in a minute. Or Lil Baby. A long time. So let's get that out the door. Please don't use that no more. Like, I'm not a leecher. Like, fuck with me for a reason. But like, I want to die. Like, I want to kill myself. I want to like leave this earth. I don't have no friends. Y'all see who I'm with? Nobody. I'm nobody. Nobody nearest me. Nobody around me. Nobody is like near me.
But also held Drake accountable for playing a role in the boys' downfall. From the private jet workouts to the public taunts to the permanent tattoos, Meek saw it as a pattern. A young artist was molded, showcased, and then discarded like yesterday's trend. In his eyes, it wasn't just disrespectful, it was exploitation. Now, with all that boiling beneath the surface, Meek Mill reportedly started connecting more dots. He wasn't just reacting to emotional fallout. He was tracking a pattern that seemed all too familiar in the industry. According to several sources close to his circle, Meek began questioning why certain artists kept falling into the same trap. Sudden access to fame, closely monitored friendships with major players, and then a rapid fall from grace the moment they stopped playing along. One name that kept coming up was Party Next Door. Insiders claim he too once had momentum, endless exposure, and close proximity to some of the biggest names, but then vanished from the spotlight almost entirely. The whispers suggested there were emotional struggles behind the scenes and creative restrictions that left him sidelined. And just like YK, his silence was noticed. Then there's the case of other young male artists who showed promise, entered elite social circles, and then disappeared, either musically or personally, after strange encounters or sudden changes in behavior. While no one's calling it a conspiracy outright, more voices are stepping up saying the industry rewards silence and punishes resistance.
You see, I'm gonna tell you something. They always want you to, you know what these rappers, all these singers, all these big rappers y'all look up to? They always tell you what the good part about, but they never tell you what the bad part. And that's crazy, man. Yeah, they got all this money, but they dealing with emo spirits. They dealing with themselves. They dealing with, man, come on, man. I want to get out this music industry because this is not for me. But I do it because I feed my family. But I don't want to be in this. This is not what God want me to do. God don't want me to do this. But I do it to feed my family. And I want to get out this. I want to get out of the music industry because yes, you go through pain. You go through this because this is what the devil wants you to go through to destroy yourself.
This is where Meek's stance becomes more focused. According to one media analyst, Meek doesn't just want to distance himself, he wants to expose what's been happening under the surface for years. There are rumors that he's working behind the scenes to support a few rising artists quietly, helping them navigate the space without falling into the same traps. And here's where things get even deeper. Several unnamed executives are said to be scrambling, trying to downplay Meek's recent moves. They know that if he starts naming names or backing artists who've been damaged, the entire ecosystem of control could shift. What was once dismissed as drama or artist fallouts is now looking more like an intentional cycle. A cycle that Meek, for the first time, appears ready to break. The pressure cooker is building, and the silence from certain camps is only making it worse. industry insiders are now pointing out that Meek Mill isn't the only one with eyes on these situations. A wave of journalists, bloggers, and former insiders have started piecing together timelines, contracts, and strange coincidences involving numerous rising male artists. One pattern stands out.
There are gay people, but what we're talking about here is ritualistic sexual deviancy used to harness energy of a human being. We are being harnessed, not me, not you, but the people that he's dealing with, and she became privy to this.
Artists being flown out, given sudden exposure, and then pulled back into the shadows once rumors begin. Some have vanished from streaming platforms. Others, even after viral moments, have stopped releasing music altogether. The speculation is that some of these disappearances aren't accidents. They're intentional removals from public view. Legal analysts have also begun weighing in, pointing to the power structures in the entertainment business. NDAs, threats of lawsuits, or quiet payouts have allegedly been used to keep certain stories from ever surfacing. When artists try to speak up, their projects stall. Studio sessions get canceled. Distribution deals dissolve. The conversation is evolving now, shifting from scandal to structure. Who benefits from these silences? Who controls the doors that open and close overnight? One report suggests a prominent investigative podcast is now developing a multi-part series exploring these very questions. They've been contacting former assistants, producers, and bodyguards, many of whom are finally ready to talk. Some are sharing footage. Others have kept journals, voicemails, and messages. Slowly, a web of overlapping stories is forming. What's happening now isn't just gossip, it's a shift in how the industry protects itself. And with platforms like social media and independent media making censorship harder, the control is starting to slip. And this time people are watching very closely. And now, with that entire empire unraveling under public scrutiny, the conversation has shifted. It's no longer just about one figure, it's about the entire system that enabled this. Comment sections are erupting with raw reactions. One viewer wrote, "These young artists are giving away everything just to chase a dream." Another asked, "Who has really thrived under that brand in the music industry? Anyone at all?" People are questioning why the silence lasted so long. Others are expressing real concern, especially for the ones caught in the middle, those who came in young, hopeful, and unaware of what they were stepping into. "They like them young because they're easier to control," someone said. "But I hope this kid finds healing and clarity. He seemed lost, but there's something real still there." Across the board, the message is loud and clear. The truth must come out. This isn't just entertainment anymore. This is accountability, and the fallout is far from over. Let us know what you think in the comments. Tap into the discussion and don't hold back. And if you're looking for more deep dives into the stories the industry would rather keep quiet, hit that like button, subscribe for the latest breakdowns, and stay locked in for what's next.